I'm Jack Kennedy, and we're here to bring you the latest in MMA.
Hey everybody, my name's Hunter Boss, and what the boss says goes.
What is up everyone, my name is Keelan McNamara, and you already know what time it is.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the MMA Island Podcast. I am Jack Kennedy alongside Keelan McNamara and Hunter Boss. We are back, and we have a loaded podcast. It's going to be great. We're going to go ahead and get started, not with the news today, but with Guess the Fighter, Guess Who, our version of it. Obviously, it didn't go too well last time, so we're mixing up a little bit. We're going to go one weight class, which we're singling out light heavyweight today in honor of our light heavyweight fight night main event coming up. And we're doing seven hints, 3 guesses still, right? So a bit more of a chance. Hopefully we'll get some mixed up. Again, rules stay the same. Could be current or past fighters in the UFC, MMA. Let's go ahead and get started with it. Hunter, you are guessing first.
Oh, are you guys ready?
I'm
ready.
ready.
I'm going to get this one
I'm ready. Are
4
you
guesses.
ready?
4 guesses. All right.
All right, guys. Is this a current UFC fighter?
No.
No.
Okay. Does this fighter have a nickname?
Yes.
Did this fighter fight after 2010?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Did he make his predominant career before 2010?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did this fighter become champion?
Yes.
Yes.
5, I think.
Yep. Is this fighter from California?
Yes.
Yes.
Alex, I'd like to solve the puzzle, please.
Okay. You get 3 guesses.
Is it Tito Ortiz?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way. Yes, Tito
Well
Ortiz.
done.
Well played.
Bad boy. Yeah, we like
That
it.
was well done. Well done, Hunter.
Off
Thank
to a
you.
much better start so far. Well done, Hunter.
Much
Love
better.
it.
That was
I think
really
I had
well
it when as soon as you said nickname, I thought I had it then. I'm like, they're going to pick Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
done.
All right, Keelan, you ready?
Boom, I am ready. I am inspired by my leader, Hunter, to try and get this right this time.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so gentlemen, kicking it off, I'm going to follow Hunter's lead. Is this a current UFC fighter?
No.
No.
Okay, so they're retired. Is this fighter from the United States?
No.
Oh. Okay, spicy. So they're not a current fighter and they're not American. That's very interesting. Was this fighter ever a UFC champion?
No.
Okay. Wow, this is really intense.
Well,
Does this...
think about it this way, Keelan. We would never do any no-namers, so they were obviously pretty well known.
Okay. Did this fighter have a well-known nickname?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. Was he a champion? Was this
Sure
fighter
wasn't.
Was this fighter from South America?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 5.
Was he? I'll believe you, Jack. I don't know.
This isn't a good sign.
Bro, yes, he's from South America.
All right, well, it's not one of the main
Yes.
countries if Hunter doesn't know if it's in South America or not. Jesus. Okay, we're on 5 guesses. All right. Was this fighter's career predominantly post 2011?
No.
So before 2011, okay, and that's 6.
So you got one more hint.
I'm trying to get an idea in my head of who this could be. South American, wasn't a champion. That was a guess. God, this is tough. I think I might have a guess who this might be. Is it Thiago Santos?
No.
Not quite.
Ooh. Is it Johnny Walker?
No, sir.
Now remember, you still have one more hint if you want to use that.
And also remember that they're not currently fighting.
Oh, God, you're absolutely right, yeah. So, oh, God, so they're retired. Is it Vanderlei Silva?
Oh,
yes, it is.
Well done.
It's the axe murderer.
The axe murderer.
Vanderlei.
Vanderlei Silva's from Brazil. That's in South America.
See, I forgot that Brazil is in South America. You know, I googled it. I'm like, yeah,
amazing.
That was a brilliant guess.
Well,
good job, Keelan. Good job, man.
I'm in trouble now because you both got it, and last time I was the only one who got it. So I think we're gonna get reversed this time.
Could this be the first ever Guess Who clean sweep?
Let's hope.
Let's
hope.
I'm feeling a lot of pressure right now, guys. So light heavyweight. Let's get started. Is this an active fighter in the UFC?
It is not.
Nope.
I'm gonna use one of my guesses. Is this Chuck Liddell?
No.
Nope.
This man over here, he's seen all the calculations. All right, no way.
Score from the halfway line.
Look,
That's what I'm trying to do here.
I went for it all out there. All right, now
that's fair. You know what? Respect.
But it's okay.
But that's one question and one guess.
Okay, is this person from the U.S.?
Yes.
Fought at light heavyweight from the U.S. Okay, not active. We did that. Is this person an internet personality currently?
Yeah. Yes.
Is it Chael Sonnen?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
No.
I was thinking, is he from the U.S.? He's from the mean streets of Oregon, all right.
He is the U.S. Jack. Come on.
Look,
man, that was a freaking fast guess. I thought I stumped you because he fought in middleweight for the longest time. I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna get this shit.
I forgot the details about my fighter, and Jack gets it in 3 guesses.
Look,
seriously, well done, though.
That was a good question, the internet personality one. That got it immediately, didn't it?
Yeah.
There's only like one of 4 people it could be.
Because I was thinking the reason I went Chuck Liddell is I'm thinking, okay, we already did Tito Ortiz, right? Who's a legendary light heavyweight fighter. I guess you could have gone Rampage or Rashad Evans or even John Jones, but like
Randy Couture.
Yeah, Randy Couture as well. Yeah,
that would have been a good one.
I was thinking like you guys were laughing a lot whenever you chose that pick, so I'm like, it's gotta be someone. It's gotta be someone. But yeah, love it. Well done. That's Guess Who. We'll keep that rolling. We love that segment on here. Let's go ahead and get into the news. And a big news segment at this. We have Poirier, Michael Chandler, MSG, UFC 281 in November. Hunter, what do you think about this fight?
Oh, I am so excited, guys. When I say that Michael Chandler is fastly becoming one of my favorite fighters, that's because Dustin Poirier was also one of my favorite fighters, and they have such similar styles, I feel like. They're both like these bruising boxers that know how to wrestle pretty well. And I think that this fight can go anywhere, and it will. Yeah. I think it will go down to the ground at some point. We'll both get to see a wrestling exchange. The striking is going to be immaculate. I mean, Chandler has a style where he's like stalks his prey and then he aims and fires. But Poirier, he does have that volume boxing, but he can put behind box or the power behind the strikes whenever he needs to. He always mixes it in so smoothly. So this fight's going to be really good. And in New York too, at Madison Square Garden, that's how you know this isn't going to be the top fight, boys. This is not going to be the top fight. This is not the main event.
Yeah.
This is just the co-main. So we're in for a fantastic card for UFC 281, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. So I can't wait to see what else is on that card.
Oh my good God. This could be fight of the year. This could be fight of the year. This is one of those dream matchups that you always pray for, but sometimes you don't get. And we're getting it. That's the only way I can really put this into words. My God, what an exciting fight. Dustin Poirier, one of the best lightweights, in my opinion, there's ever been. I think his comeback, I think his story, I think his rise has been nothing short of unbelievable. And I think he is truly a credit to his sport, and he's truly a legend of it. And then we have Iron Michael Chandler in the opposite corner, a guy who only puts on fight of the year contenders every time he fights. He's the only guy I don't complain about who fights every 6 months or maybe only once or twice a year, because every time he fights, by God, does he make it worth it. And what's that a recipe for? That's a recipe for fight of the year. Plain and simple. Like Hunter said, Michael Chandler is a sniper. He takes aim and he fires, but he's aiming and firing into one of the best pure boxers the lightweight division has in Dustin Poirier, a southpaw who could destroy that lead leg, a southpaw who could use that left hand to absolutely blast Michael Chandler into oblivion. Or will Michael Chandler blast Dustin Poirier against the fence, take it from there? Who knows? I don't know yet. It's too far away. But let's just say I am excited because this is just incredible. And if this is only the co-main, I don't even want to imagine what the main event is. It's got to be Khamzat Chimaev or something. But by God, is this big. Jack, what do you think?
I just think this is ridiculous. Look, we got treated with Gaethje Chandler at the last MSG card. Now we're getting Poirier Chandler at this MSG card. I ask one thing, please make it 5 rounds. I want a 5-round fight for this. Both these guys deserve it. It's ridiculous. Put the BMF title on it if you want. This is such a great fight.
I'd be okay with it. Honestly, no, I'm not okay with it. They're not BMFs. They're not bad motherfuckers. Come on. Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz are bad motherfuckers. I mean, Dustin Poirier, he's great and all, and he's a great guy, but he's not a bad motherfucker, all right? He's no gangster. He's no West Coast gangster.
Hunter, you're a braver man than I am if you would tell Dustin Poirier that. That's what I'm saying.
He's a great motherfucker. He ain't no bad motherfucker.
That's Stephen Thompson.
But Stephen Thompson's the NMF.
He's the NMF. He's the nicest motherfucker.
This will be the GMF. I'm down for that. The GMF belt. Sure. You have to be.
You know what? Let's inaugurate the GMF belt.
Why not? Put the GMF belt here. It's bronze or whatever. That's what they're fighting for. Basically, it's gonna be ridiculous. Again, Dana White says it all the time, but he says it for fights that might not be that good. All 3 of us can guarantee this will be a barn burner. It will be ridiculous. Probably fight of the night for the card. We don't even know what the main event is at this point. I don't think it really matters because this fight's ridiculous in its own right. If you're in the arena, you're going to be on your feet all 25 minutes or however long this fight lasts, right? If you're sitting at home, you're probably going to be like on your feet the whole time because it's just going to be ridiculous. It's such a good fight. 2 fan favorites. I love Dustin Poirier. I'm a massive fan of Michael Chandler. Both got knockout power. I don't know. You just can't hype this fight up enough. This is one of those fights where they don't even need to do like press to get people excited for it, just because the fighting styles and who they are as people gets you excited enough. They can shake hands, be all respectful, go in there and fight, and you're going to watch, and it's just going to be straight fireworks. I am so excited. Could not be happier with the news. UFC 280 is ridiculous. UFC 281, just based off of one fight, should be ridiculous as well. I love it. Great.
You want to hear something sad, though? That means after 280 and 281, we're going to have such a big lightweight break. It's going to be a while before we get to see our lightweights back in the ring or octagon.
Yeah.
You know what? I will tell you one thing, though, before we get on to the sad time, we're staying with a happy time, Hunter, okay? Because we keep it positive on the MMA Island podcast. One thing I'm inaugurating here, I'm making this official. This fight has officially got the MMA Island podcast seal of approval. That's how good this fight is.
I love it.
Rubber stamp
it. We need to
unanimous.
This is our seal of approval. I love it.
This is our thing. You know what? See, from now on, if there's a fight that every single one of us can agree is a 10 out of 10 banger, it's getting the podcast seal of approval. And I'm making myself the first signatory of that.
That is such a great idea. This gets seal of approval, our first one ever. And then you know what we should also do in the future, if there's for any news segment, because a lot of the news is fights that are being booked. If there's one we don't like, that gets our I don't know what
the stamp of disapproval.
The seal of disapproval will be.
What's that? Rocket just fighting? Bad.
Gosh. Not in the animation.
I love it. Yeah, no, I agree with you. This fight's just ridiculous. I think UFC 280 and 281, honestly, even right now, I think the UFC is kind of like a wave, right? So we're going through this fight night. Good. It's a good main event. We'd like to see Jamal Hill fight, and then we get some better fight nights with Dominic Cruz fighting and stuff like that. And then you get Tai Tuivasa, Cyril Gane. That fight night's almost pay-per-view level. UFC 280, 281, and then, that's what I kind of feel like. I kind of feel like the UFC's a wave right now. again.
Well,
Not
nothing's
great.
announced for anything past 281 yet. No shit, it's you know.
It's a waterfall after that right now. It's literally
Oh, is it? It's all downhill after
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Once
Oh
fights
my
get announced,
God.
they'll slowly go down. Like there's no way they match
Okay.
that unless they book
Yeah.
Stipe John Jones after 281 or something like that.
Don't get me
What if
excited,
that's the
Jack.
main
All right.
event?
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
That's a certified stamp of approval. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. Hypothetical seal of approval.
I love it. I love it. Well, we introduced that. Let's go ahead and move on to the best of the best. And we have just a ridiculous podcast today because this is a real segment. You can search it up from anyone, Ariel Hawani, whoever your source is. But if your source is us, you can trust us. Conor McGregor, maybe not be fighting soon. However, he has secured a lead role in a Hollywood movie remake of a Roadhouse 1980s film. Conor, the actor, Hunter, do you think Conor's ever going to fight again? What do you think?
Ooh. Oh, ever again? Yeah, I think he'll fight again. Here's what I'm thinking. I think Conor McGregor, he's going to make him he's going to make himself even more of a spectacle, and he's only going to fight once a year.
Yeah.
So when he goes in the octagon, everyone can be like, "Oh my God, you hear it's McGregor fight year? Fight night. It's the only time he ever fights this year. It's going to be crazy." I think I think he'll fight again. I do think so. I'm really excited for this though. I think it's about time that he makes a step into Hollywood. I thought he would be here sooner. But I have no problems with this. I mean, he's okay. Here's what I like to do. I like to look at Conor McGregor like Tom Brady is for the Patriots. Okay. Tom Brady did so much for the Patriots that I'm not too mad that he went off to go play with the Buccaneers. He did so much for the franchise that he deserves to go off and do whatever he wants. Conor McGregor made the UFC what the UFC is. So if he wants to go play touch bite in Hollywood with the kids with the ponytails, that's fine with me. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's a great actor too. He'll also be in the new Roadhouse. Let's have it happen. It's a fun night, and I'm really excited to see the Conor McGregor movie. I also just love movies, so that might be it too.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, if you didn't know one thing about us, we all love movies. We're all big movie fans, especially movies kind of like Roadhouse, really, sort of like old classics and that kind of stuff. I gotta be honest, I don't know what the hell I think about this. I'm trying to picture Conor McGregor with a mullet. It's a really strange image.
It's gonna be a wig.
It's not really coming to me and him trying to do a really bad American accent, But I'm not going to get into the details of the second Roadhouse movie, but I got to be honest, I don't really know. The one thing I'll agree with Hunter on is I did expect this to be a lot sooner. Realistically, around 2015, 2016, even 17, I'd have expected this because we got to remember, a lot of people will forget Conor McGregor was in the Call of Duty franchise, I think, for which game was it? Was it Black Ops 4?
It was a futuristic one. I don't remember the name.
I didn't even know he was in Call of Duty. So.
It was terrible.
I'm just hearing this for the first time. That's pretty cool.
It was a pretty terrible cameo in the Call of Duty game, where the only time you see him is literally him photoshopped from UFC 2 into his face, and he knocks one guy out. I'm not going to get into that, but just so people know, he has made mainstream appearances before. Truthfully, I mean, if you were to ask me 4 or 5 years ago, would Conor McGregor have been in Hollywood? I'd have said to you he'd have been in the WWE by this point. He'd have been in Hollywood. He'd have done a whole bunch of stuff. So the only thing that really surprises me is that it's taken this long. However, what also surprises me is putting him in a movie this big. I mean, even if you're not a movie fan, Roadhouse is a really well-known movie. It's a cult classic. Patrick Swayze, one of the greats, one of his best-known movies was Roadhouse. And to put him alongside a Hollywood A-lister and Jake Gyllenhaal is a big step. Now, if this had been that boxing movie Jake Gyllenhaal had done, I'd have absolutely understood it. Yeah, brilliant movie, by the way. And it would have made a lot of sense. But I just don't see it. I mean, look, it's for publicity reasons. I know that, I'm not expecting Conor McGregor to do a Will Smith and win an Academy Award and then slap someone in the crowd. But realistically, as far as acting goes, the jury's very much out in that. That being said, I am surprised it's taken this long.
Yeah, we're seeing Conor with an Oscar. That's what reality we're living in. I look, honestly, I have a little conspiracy theory, which might be really realistic, and you guys will probably agree with. He is huge right now. We've seen him so bulked up and everything. He might have known about this for a little bit, and this is just when it's being released that he's doing this. So that might be another reason why he's so huge right now is for the role. It's wild that he's going to be alongside Jake Gyllenhaal in the leading role for this movie. It's crazy. Will he fight again? I think so. You can't leave out the way he did. I really think sometime mid to late, maybe next year, he'll fight. I don't know if it'll be early next year or whatever, but I do think he'll fight again. He fought 2 times in 2021, didn't he?
The Poirier fights. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so I don't think he'll fight again this year, but I think next year, maybe early next year, mid next year, he'll fight. So yeah, I think he'll fight again. I think what Hunter said is it's funny, but it's true. A McGregor fight year is probably what it's going to be. Okay, this is when he's going to be fighting. You get the day he's fighting. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's great. Have you guys ever seen? This is just random. There's this movie that's like the A-Team like remake. They made it into a movie, and it's got like Bradley Cooper, Liam Neeson.
Love that movie.
And it's got Rampage. As well. And so like I feel like and it worked in that because he's alongside all these other A-list actors and it's hilarious. I feel like this could work in that same kind of way. And it's gonna be wild seeing Conor McGregor in a movie. It's gonna be so distracting for me watching that. But as long as he stays, if this helps him stay out of trouble or gets him into more trouble, I guess we'll find out very shortly. But yeah,
I've heard Hollywood really cleans up people, so it's going to be good for McGregor.
I've heard that too. Yeah. Hollywood and Vegas are the best places to go to get on a righteous path. Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh my god,
yeah, this is going to be fun though, people. Jack, I like your conspiracy theory because I think I low key agree with it. Yeah, because if you guys remember, like a year ago, Conor McGregor was asked a question who would play him in a movie, and he said Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, so has to be in the talks for a long time. Like they're friends, they know each other. I'm sure they're like, hey, if you were to do a movie, what would you do? And McGregor's like, nothing, right? Gyllenhaal was like, let's do Roadhouse. Yeah. Or I'm totally down for this. It's gonna be so much fun, guys. Yeah. And Jake Gyllenhaal, I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a great actor. He's a great actor. So if anyone can carry someone who's never acted before, it's Jake Gyllenhaal.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I'm amazed that weirdo Jared Leto isn't involved. Him and his long Jesus hair. I thought he'd be there somewhere. But yeah, I actually realized I forgot to answer half of your question, Jack. Will he fight again? Actually, I agree with you guys. I think we'll see him at least once more. Yes, absolutely. But I do also agree. I think it will start to become McGregor fight year as opposed to him fighting like a number of times over the year. What I will say is since last we recorded, there's been rumors of a second Floyd Mayweather fight. I have no idea how true those are. I hope to God they're not true, but I've seen that there are rumors of that happening. But it would make sense if he had known about this for a long time because obviously Conor McGregor is physically massive right now. He's about 190 pounds. He looks huge. He looks like a human SpongeBob. He's starting to become a square. If you saw him during any of the F1 races, I think it was in Monaco, he was doing a lot of media with Sky Sports here in this part of the world, and he looks really, really big. So I can only assume, and this is just a very hypothetical guess, my guess is that he's probably going to play a bouncer or something in this Roadhouse movie. And that's probably where they're going to fit his physique into it because they're not going to put him as the lead guy. That just wouldn't make any sense. But if they're putting him as a bouncer and Jake Gyllenhaal as the Patrick Swayze character, like sort of that kind of dynamic, that would make sense to me. But I'm actually intrigued to see it. It's going to freak so many people out.
Yeah, Amazon Prime too, I think. Nightcrawler's a fantastic movie with Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
Yes.
I love that movie. Okay, guys. Well, I guess we're moving. This is like the one I think normal. I guess the news at the beginning, but this is like kind of the calm part and it's prediction time. So let's move on to the pick of the night. And it is Jamal Hill returning to face Thiago Santos. I'm interested in it. Hunter, who do you think wins this light heavyweight main event?
Well, smart money says Jamal Hill. And I'm with the smart money too, so I'm going to pick Jamal Hill. Thiago Santos has lost 4 of his last 5 fights, I should say. He's only beaten Johnny Walker, and he did it last year. and he's just not the fighter he used to be. If this was before John Jones' fight, I'd say sure, probably. He's got the power. But, I mean, Thiago Santos still has the power. That's the thing. Like, it's there. And he knocked down Magomed Ankalaev in his last fight, so he still has the power. It's just not that out cold power, and his chin is suspect too now. It's just there's so many things you have to worry about. It's too many things for me. I think Jamal Hill's going to win. He's very accurate. If this is just if this goes all 5 rounds, Jamal Hill should win. He throws often. He's a bit of a sniper. Keeps his hands down, which is a little bit scary, especially against Thiago Santos. But I think he'll maneuver well enough, and he has the cardio to probably outpush Thiago Santos. So I'm going to go with Thiago Santos because what the boss says goes.
But you're going with Thiago Santos?
No, I'm going to go against Thiago Santos. Thank you, Jack. I'm going with Jamal Hill because what the boss says once went, but now it doesn't always go.
What the boss said is reversed and is now in gear and is back where it was meant to be. Is basically
That's
what
right.
it is.
That's right.
Yeah, no real
Not as
shock
confusing
here.
as Connor's movie.
Nice.
A little bit.
Nice. Yeah, I agree with Hunter. I think Jamal Hill's going to win this. I mean, we did quite a lot of build-up to Jamal's fight with Thiago Santos, I remember. And Jamal impressed me so much with that knockout. I mean, that was vicious. If you remember, I think it was an uppercut, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he knocked Johnny Walker dead, basically, for about 5 minutes. I think Jamal Hill is really maturing into a very impressive fighter. He's tall, he's lanky, and he's got a hell of a lot of stopping power as well. And those are all a really bad recipe for Thiago Santos, a man who basically doesn't have any legs anymore. The problem with Thiago Santos is that he's a bit like a seriously damaged battleship. He has a lot of firepower, but he's no way to move it. He's completely stuck. And the problem is, if you're fighting anybody who can move half decently at all, that just spells disaster. Jamal Hill can move. He can move really quickly. And he's fighting a guy who tore like both ACLs and both MCLs against John Jones. And you're never going to recover from that. But, it is what it is. I'm not criticizing him at all. It's just the way things are. I actually see a stoppage in this fight. I'm going to say a second round knockout for Jamal Hill. I just think he's going to pepper him in the first round. Thiago Santos could well land. I'm certainly not putting that out of the equation because he still hits as hard as anybody does. The problem is he just has no capacity for movement to make it effective enough. And that kind of feeds into what Hunter was just saying there a minute ago. So for me, I don't think it's an easy win, but I think it's a clear choice. I see Jamal Hill winning. Second round knockout, and you already know why it is because when you want to know where it's at, you come to the Mac.
I love it. And I agree with you guys. We're all on the same page. Clean sweep here. Back in the day on the podcast, I would disagree with you guys just to disagree with you, but we're more mature.
You've got a good run of form recently, by the way.
And that's why I'm sticking with it. We're mature now. You're right. We moved on. And I agree with you. Yeah, I'm going logical here, right? No more Megan Anderson picks. We're being logical. So Jamal Hill, fantastic fighter. Look, Thiago Santos before and even into that John Jones fight was just a different fighter than he is today. That John Jones fight changed him. And the reason it changed him was because he lost both of his knees in that fight. If we're being completely honest, that's why he's not the same fighter he is today.
Oh, yeah.
He's mobile. It's just not only is it just an actual physical thing, he's also just mentally, you can tell, he doesn't trust himself as much to just make the commitments that he used to. And those commitments lead to either him losing a boring decision or him getting knocked out. And it's just unfortunate because he has that power. We saw him drop down Ankalaev, a guy who looks almost championship material now. It's unfortunate. And Jamal Hill, I think this fight is going to be frantic. Jamal Hill brings a pace like very few people in that division. He will go from the start and just keep going. And it's pretty crazy. And he's got tremendous power in his own right, Jamal Hill. He seems to be improving every single fight that we see him in. He seems to be a level up. I think this is his night. I think he's going to press the pace. And I think Santos might even catch him because that's what Santos wants is for Jamal Hill to bring it to him. But that's what I think Jamal Hill is going to do. Jamal Hill might even get caught. But I think at the end of the day, because of the mobility, because of everything we've already talked about regarding Thiago Santos, Jamal Hill's just going to get the best shot and put Thiago Santos out. So I got a round 1 TKO KO Jamal Hill. I don't think it's going to be a long night. I think it's going to be short, frantic pace. Good fight overall. But I think it's Jamal Hill's night. I agree with you guys. Yeah. Well, fantastic podcast, everybody. Thank you all so much for listening. Those are our picks. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. You can listen to us everywhere, literally everywhere, including iTunes and Spotify. Okay, here's the new part of this, right? Follow us personally, the podcast, on Instagram at mma.island.pod. Check it out. I'm going to say it one more time, at mma.island.pod. There's a post that we made, very controversial. If you want to go comment on that, berate us, please do, or argue with other people. We recommend it. Check out our reels. It's great stuff. Also, of course, follow MMA Island at mma.island and check out our website, mmaisland.net. Thank you again, everyone, so much for listening, and great podcast, guys.